Hey guys, it's Josh and Joey,
How you
and
doing?
this is our first entry into our adoption series blog, kind of reliving our stories and sharing our experience.
We've had a lot of people reach out to us. They want to learn more about our experience. We've had two kind of independent, unique experiences that we can kind of share with all of you and hopefully be helpful along the way.
Yeah. So I guess to kick it off, we're not going to edit this. This is completely
Off the cuff,
cuff.
yeah.
So please excuse us if we talk over each other or we stumble and say a lot. It might happen. We've had a couple glasses of wine or daddy juice, so just sit back and kind of listen to our story a little bit. So when we got together, we both knew that starting a family was very important to us. We kind of thought about going the surrogacy route, but we really wanted to adopt because there are a lot of kids out there that need a good, loving home and a chance at life. And so we really started to do our research.
Yeah, and most of that was done online at that time. We didn't really have any friends who had adopted or any kind of experience to kind of pull from, and so we just went online and we looked for a couple agencies that worked with the LGBTQ community, and so we came across a couple. We saw Lifelong Adoptions and we saw IAC Adoptions, and so we reached out to them just to kind of learn more about their process, kind of expectations, what the process looks like, and we quickly learned that although adoption is very rewarding and exciting, but it's pretty expensive. And so we realized that we would have to come up with some capital first to figure out how we could to fund this adoption.
Yeah. So at that point, we were doing projects around our home, and we noticed our community started to appreciate very quickly. So we decided to test the market, and we listed our home, and 2 days later it went into a little bit of a bidding war, which was great. It gave us the money that we needed to pay for the down payment, which was $16,400 and some odd cents, I believe.
Yeah, that's like the marketing fee they called it, and so it's just for us to be able to be exposed to birth mothers who were interested in placing their child for adoption.
Yeah.
And so that was upfront. It's non-refundable. It's like it was a 2-year contract,
and that fee was to Lifelong Adoptions. And we picked them mainly because we talked to Mark Doyle. We spoke with him. We had a really, really good conversation, and we felt comfortable with them. And so we decided to kind of go that
move
route.
forward with them, yeah. And so we sold our house. We put down that down payment, and then we started renovating our next property. And so we did the renovations for about a couple months or so.
Yeah, we had 2 months of living in our first home while the renovations were going on.
And for those months, then we started our home study.
Mm-hmm. We couldn't really start it until the home was almost done because the caseworker would have to come out and inspect the house and
Make sure that's livable.
Yeah,
and
wires exposed, whatnot. Yeah. But while that was going on, they set us up with Families First here in Atlanta, and they kind of, I guess, ran the whole home study.
Yeah, so it's you fill out an application for the home study, and I think you pay some kind of small nominal fee to kind of get the ball rolling, and then they send you over, I want to say a couple dozen pieces of paperwork for you to fill out. There's questionnaires about how you would parent, how you resolve conflict, how you were parented.
And that part takes a while. When you get that packet, it reminded me of busy work from high school where the teacher's out and you have 25 sheets of paper that you have to fill out and write paragraphs. It took us a while to get through that.
We put it off until the last possible minute.
It took a while. And on top of that, you have to have a physical. The doctor has to say you're in good health and have the mental capacity to take care of a child.
There's letters of recommendation. We took classes on how you're supposed to parent.
You have to have certain,
which I thought was
credits.
really interesting. Yeah. It felt a little inappropriate,
yeah.
but.
And then your caseworker comes out to your home just to kind of see the home that the child's going to be raised in, and she has a one-on-one with each of us, and then us as a couple. And then once all that is done, they can start kind of sending out your information to birth mothers.
Yeah. So yeah, they do like I think the homestead agency came over 3 times, and then once she had all the paperwork that they needed, they approved and finalized the home study.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, we were able to be considered by birth mothers. And so with Lifelong, it was a little unique in that a birth mother contacted Lifelong and said that she was interested in placing her child up for adoption, and then Lifelong chose between 12 and 15 different profiles that they then sent to the birth mother to review for consideration. And so we did that. So we started in May, and then in September, well, late August, early September, is that when we were connected with Rayanne?
I think it was in June or July, because
Really?
I remember
Okay.
being really, really high.
Okay, so I guess it was really quick then. We were connected with the birth mother. She ended up choosing our profile. We were matched. So we were very excited. She was due right around Thanksgiving time. It was going to be her second child,
Little boy.
a little boy. She already had a son with her boyfriend. They weren't married, but she had a son with him. And she was just overwhelmed. She was young. She was 18 years old. She lived in a very rural, I think, poor part of Alabama. And she didn't have the means to take care of both children. And so she wanted to place her child up for adoption. So we were connected with her. We had a good relationship with her for a couple months.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just slowly...
Yeah. And
went
when
away.
you sign up for adoption, some of these birth mothers aren't going to have access to internet. They're not going to have telephones where they can call you or text you. So you could have weeks go by and not hear a word from them. And the whole time you're second
You're on
guessing.
edge,
Did
yeah.
I say something wrong? Did they choose someone else? Am I still in consideration? And your
Are they
head
gonna
is
keep
just
the baby?
spinning.
Yeah. You go,
And so
you go
that
to
is
those dark places.
Yeah, that's completely normal for you to have those thoughts, because we definitely did. And looking back on it, now that we've talked to other couples that have adopted, they've gone through those same experiences as well.
Yeah. So don't feel like you're overthinking or you're overanalyzing, and because those are all possibilities that might happen. So
Yeah.
those are all potential outcomes.
And everyone tells you to guard your heart, and I know you
Very
get tired of
sweet.
hearing that, and it's very sweet, and they really can't say anything else. But like at the end of the day, you want to punch somebody in the face, because you're like, stop telling me that. Like, you have the possibility, the prospect of having this newborn baby in your arms, and you can't help but get attached once you have that connection, whether it's the day after or 6 months down the road. And I mean, I think that's just part of being human. And
Yeah, and our relationship with Rayanne was a little unique in that she didn't request any money throughout the time we were communicating with her. Oftentimes, birth mothers will request financial assistance for rent or clothes or food or phones or whatnot. Now, she hadn't done that yet, so we weren't out any additional money besides that marketing fee that we put down in May. But that's always a possibility, because if for some reason you start paying those bills and then the birth mother decides to change her mind, you're out that money. So that's just another risk. And so there's the emotional piece of it that's at stake. There's a financial piece of it that's at stake. And so it was a very emotional time for us. And so when our relationship with Rayanne started to dissolve, kind of towards September, September.
yeah, it was right around the time we finished our renovation, and we moved in, and we were starting to get settled and getting used to the possibility of, hey, we could have a baby in this home in 3 or 4 months.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you start planning your, like, I don't think we actually bought anything, because we're
I
like,
remember hanging that heart light
Yeah.
fixture
in the
and
the
putting it,
nursery.
saying this is going to be the nursery,
Oh.
and planting the crib underneath it.
But luckily, we hadn't gone too far. Well, needless to say, our relationship with Rayanne she went kind of MIA for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Thanksgiving Day, we learned that she gave birth and she kept the boy. So although we were connected with her, we were very
we kind of accepted it.
We knew it was coming. Yeah.
Yeah, we had messaged her, emailed her, and just said, hey, like, if you decide to keep this baby, we support you 100%, but please just let us know, like, let us off the hook either way. And we didn't hear from her, and we didn't really expect to, so we kind of emotionally moved on a little bit, but it still hurts.
It still hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You get
I
your
mean,
hopes up, and
we were so new to the process. We were so excited about the idea of having a child, and you go there mentally. So we were definitely disappointed.
yeah.
But I think we knew that timing is everything, and if it wasn't meant to be, it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
So she
Yeah.
reached out on Thanksgiving and told us.
Yeah, we saw on Facebook actually
Yeah.
that she gave birth.
Well, then we messaged her, I think, right, and then she
it was
responded.
after Miles was born.
Okay.
Yeah. But by this point, we had already moved into a new home and started renovations, and that is a story for part 2.
Got several parts to talk about. Our story is long, apparently.
Check back next week, and we'll kind of take it up from there. Have a great weekend, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.